Hey, I'm Ryan Harris, Director of Service Delivery here at Plow Networks. So when we talk about Intune and AutoPilot really kind of go hand in hand with each other. AutoPilot is a tool that we use to provision new devices so that the user has a more streamlined experience when they receive their new laptop or device that they're going to use within the business. Within AutoPilot, we can automate both the installation of applications, we can push policy down, maybe conditional access, anything that we want to do on a repeatable basis. So if we have essentially an old school way of doing it, right, was we had an image that we would install onto every device. Now we can do that remotely. So with AutoPilot, we can ship that device directly to a user, especially since we've moved towards more of a modern workforce. A lot of people are remote now, so we can ship that device to them. They can log in to that device, and as soon as they log in, AutoPilot will pull all of that configuration settings, applications down to that device. Basically, it's kind of zero touch for your IT teams. Really streamlines the process when it comes to getting new devices into the hands of users. And then on the Intune side, so we talk about, we're using AutoPilot on the front end of that device kind of life cycle. On the back end, so managing that device long term, we're going to use Intune for. So Intune is what we use to manage those devices on a kind of day-to-day basis. So whether it be through managing antivirus, managing applications, managing access policies, managing security policies, maybe it's identity policies, we're going to manage all of that through Intune. So maybe companies who have a limited workforce or maybe a limited IT team could really leverage Intune to help them streamline the process of managing a lot of different devices or resources, especially in areas where there's a large remote workforce. It can really help smaller IT teams kind of expand their management footprint so that they're not having to feel like they have to touch every single device that they need to manage. It allows them to be a lot more thorough, allows them to utilize time better, it allows them to work in a fashion that represents maybe a larger IT team without having to invest in the resources there. We talk about some of the benefits of AutoPilot and Intune. I mean, obviously with AutoPilot, it really creates for a very user-friendly experience. We talk about the user logs in for that first time and everything happens in an automated fashion on the back end. It makes their experience of maybe getting a new laptop or getting a new device a lot less stressful. It takes a lot less time, right? So they're not having to guess, do I go here for this? Everything's already kind of set up for them when they log in that first time, because AutoPilot's taking care of everything on the back end. Another benefit of AutoPilot is the ability to what's called auto patch. So once a device is sent out to a user or a device is kind of logged in for the first time or sees the internet for the first time, it will go and automatically patch any kind of critical patches or security patches or really any kind of updates in general. It will go and pull those down automatically. So from a security and compliance standpoint, especially in areas of highly regulated industries, so healthcare and finance, there's not a concern of, if you have a laptop sitting on the shelf for 8 to 10 months, maybe even longer than that, before it goes out to a user, you don't have to worry about pushing updates before that laptop goes out. You can send that laptop out just as you would. As soon as that laptop connects to the internet and that AutoPilot process starts, it's going to automatically download and patch the Windows operating system so that you, from an IT team, you don't have to worry about systems going out into the field that have security vulnerabilities or that may, in other words, not be patched up to the recommended level. So when we talk about some of the benefits of Intune, outside of the ability to push, standard identity policies or conditional access policies, making things streamlined through the rolling out or deployment of policy, one of the other benefits is the ability to what we call remote wipe a device. In a scenario where a user loses a device or maybe a device is stolen, misplaced, through Intune, we can remotely wipe that device so that if it does get into the wrong hands, there's a limited risk around data exposure or data compromise, because we can wipe that device as soon as we identify that device is not with a company resource anymore. The ability to do that through Intune is extremely easy and it's fairly straightforward. So again, it really helps kind of in that overall management of devices through Intune. Intune also integrates directly with Entra ID. So when we talk about access-based controls or identity access-based controls, we can leverage the direct integration with Entra ID to facilitate the deployment of those controls. We also have the ability to manage mobile devices with Intune. So a lot of people are working remote now. We can leverage Intune to manage those mobile devices or mobile phones as well. We can create an entirely separate profile on an employee's cell phone, which houses all of their work data. And then via that company policy, if something were to happen to that user's cell phone, or if that user is no longer working for the company anymore, we can wipe the company profile on the cell phone without having to interfere with the employee's personal data on that phone. We can also use Intune from a mobile device management standpoint to manage the same kind of identity-based controls on that device as we would a laptop, ensuring that MFA is enabled, that the same authentication mechanisms are in place on that mobile device as on their laptop. So we talk about use cases for Intune and AutoPilot. Really, I would say AutoPilot, Intune are really for any business that's looking to streamline both the deployment of new infrastructure as well as the ongoing management of those end user devices. So I think there's use cases to where it benefits especially smaller IT teams, maybe limited on the number of resources. It really helps to extend their capabilities beyond what they would be able to do just with kind of standard tooling. So it allows smaller IT teams to work bigger per se. I mean, we see benefits in everything from small businesses to large enterprise. Large enterprises usually have dedicated teams. They usually have larger teams, so the benefits aren't as great. However, again, there's benefits kind of throughout the space and in every industry, especially highly regulated industries, healthcare and finance, really start to see a lot of those benefits of kind of streamlining that device management process using AutoPilot and specifically Intune as well. So if you want to get started with AutoPilot and Intune, happy to have conversations. Reach out to us here at Plow and we'll get things started.